So I need you to understand why it's so foundational to seek Christ in the morning, first thing in the morning, before you do anything else. Have a mind on seeking Christ every morning. You see, when I realize that something is foundational, that something is interconnected with every aspect of my life, I'm very intentional about that thing. My focus is on that thing to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can to tend to that thing. Example, I see the impact that nutrition has on my life. So I really work to make sure that I'm mindful about what I put in my mouth. It's not to say it has to be pristine. It means that I'm mindful of it. I'm mindful of the fact that I don't need to have second, thirds, and fourths because I know how I'm going to feel. I know how that impacts me in a moment. I know how that impacts me throughout my day. I know how different I'm going to fall asleep and how I'm going to wake up. It just is connected to the way how I feel, to my activity level, to the way how I look. Like there's just too much involved for me to not put care into it. And that's on a daily basis. You see, some people realize, hey, exercise is really important. So I'm going to make this a priority because it's something that's foundational. It's something that changes the way how I show up on a daily basis. It changes the way how I feel about not just my body, but just about life. Like it really is so interconnected. It really permeates everything in my life to the point where I got to get up and I got to get this exercise in. I'm going to make sure that I do it. So I want you to consider like some of the other things that you realize like you can't sleep on because they so important to you. What are those things in your life? Did you realize, hey, time with your husband, time with your wife on a daily basis is important? Because if not, there's going to be problems later on down the line. So you got to tend to that because maturity, wisdom don't told you that this thing right here, you can't slack on. Because even in the moment, if you want to slack on it, when you do, you going to feel it. So it tell you, get your butt up and go do what you need to do as it relates to that thing, because this thing right here is critical. This thing right here is foundational. You need this thing, right? Some of it's in going to work. Yeah, I got to get up and I got to go to work. Why? Because it is connected to my livelihood. I don't have a choice in that. Could you not go to work? You could very well not go to work. There's plenty of people that don't go to work. But you have decided for yourself whether you want to or whether you don't want to. You're not going to pick and choose when you're going to go to work because it's that important. You see, all of these things in our lives, we could realize that, yeah, because I see the importance of it, I don't decide how I feel on the matter. I don't decide whether or not I want to. I don't decide whether or not, oh, well, because I feel guilty about it, I don't want to have to do it out of guilt and obligation. So no, you just be like, I realize it's important. I got to get my butt up and do it, and my feelings don't matter. You see, that's how I feel about God. Once when I realized that spending time with the Lord was so important, it wasn't a matter anymore of me being motivated to. It wasn't a matter of me wanting to. It was a matter of I have to. I need to get up and I need to go spend time with the Lord. I remember the first time the Lord told me to get up at 3, I was already getting up at 4. I was like, God, I ain't going to be able to do it. And we wrestled with it for a while. And he was like, one day he said, if you wake up at 3 in the morning, I will whet your appetite for it. You will always want to get up in the morning. I said, all right. I woke up, 14 pages, the Lord just telling me about my life, about what he wanted me to do, about just so much that I was like, I have to get up and go seek the Lord. When the spiritual warfare started coming, I'm like, I got to get up and put on my armor. I got to get up and go spend some time with the Lord so I can be prepared for the attacks of the enemy. I need to go suit up. I need to go be with my Jesus. Like once when I realized, like if I don't have a strategy meeting with Jesus in the morning, that Satan's going to have a strategy meeting with me. Oh yeah, his strategy going to be to put all these negative, hateful thoughts into my head and get me in this hate speech, in this hate mode early in the morning and all day. Once when I thought about it and was like, man, the one who I love with all my heart and soul wants me to get up first thing in the morning because he was waking me up. He was waking me up. I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, why am I up? I don't even understand why. Why? And then I heard pray. Then I started hearing right. And I realized that the Lord wanted to speak to me. So I know for myself, the Lord wants to speak to me early in the morning. So when I think about the fact that the Lord loves me so much that he wants just to have his uninterrupted, undivided time with me, and there's something real spiritual about the hours of 3 and 5 that like that's when the Lord wanted to speak to me. Jesus got up early to go pray to the Father. Early. So to think that I'm gonna leave the Lord hanging and like it's like a loved one that's at your favorite spot and you just leave them sitting, it just makes me sad and waiting on you just to be like, man, the Lord really wants to speak to me, his daughter, but I'm not gonna give him my time. Like to do that to a loved one is so sad. So I make him a priority. I'm like, God, I'm yours. I'm bearing your name. I'm telling people I'm a Christian. Yeah, I'm a follower of Christ. That Lord is the Lord of my life. That I declared him as Lord. And one of the ways that I work out my salvation is I get up first thing in the morning, I go spend time with the Lord. See, my steps are ordered by the Lord. And because they are, I am a child of God. But I need to go to him to get the steps. I need to know what I'm doing that day. I need to know the plan. I need to go seek God for the plan. How else am I know what to do that day? God got some gems. God got some jewels for me. I need to go grab them. God got some things he want to explain to me. You see, this what you about to come up on. This is what you need to do. This how you need to conduct yourself. What you did yesterday ain't gonna fly, and this is the reason why. I need you to read scripture on this today. God got some real practical things he want to do with you in the morning. He want to get you to create a budget because he got to talk to you about some moves coming up that you need to make. God is so beautiful in just how he wants to prepare you. If you let him. So spend time with him because it's that important. The reason why why he was able to do all those things, because he was one with the Father. He got up early in the morning to go pray and to go set himself on one accord with the Father. So that's how he started his day. That's how he moved through his day. That's how he was able to access the power of God. Jesus, 1%, 100% human, 100% God. But Jesus was still 100% in his humanity, still desired to speak to the Lord and go be with the Lord. See, what are you doing first thing in the morning? What are you saying is foundational? What are you saying is that important? What are you saying is that a priority? What are you doing first thing in the morning when you get out of bed? I tell you what, if it ain't God, it's an idol. We telling it how T.I. is this season. I ain't trying to say I'm free of idols. I got work to do. I fall short. But I'm going to call it like how it is. I don't even know I be having idols. And God be like, let me show you. And I got to work on that. We all got to work on it. We all got to work to crucify that flesh. Because the devil is on the prowl looking for who he can devour. So don't look at this as condemnation. Look at this as we all just got to help each other out in this thing. Some people will have you think, oh, you doing too much. You don't have to. You don't. Man, I'm seeking holiness and righteousness. I want to be perfect because my Father's perfect. That's what the Bible say. And even though I fall short, I get back up and I press into the high calling of God. Go seek God first thing in the morning. Show God he's a priority in your life. Show him you want him to lead your life and order your steps. Show God you need him on a daily basis, that you don't want to do this day without him. Go spend some time with him and then go take him with you in your day. He loves you. Now go, be with God. Go love on him.